NNVC is just a dynamic technology. It's a groundbreaking technology that is developed by this company to fight 90% of viral infections. And that's a remarkable achievement.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Meeta Vyas. She is the Chief Financial Officer for Nanovaricides. And Meeta, it's good to see you again. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. And it's been a crazy couple of days around the world with what's going on in the administration in the United States. And thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk to the Chief Financial Officer, talk a little bit about what's happening within the company. And let's begin with tariffs. Is that affecting your company in any way?
Thank you for asking. We are not affected by tariffs at all. So all these changes, which are causing turmoil in the market, don't affect us. We are a Shelton, Connecticut-based, USA-based company. We are doing all our R&D in Shelton, Connecticut. We have a fully owned facility, and our highest cost is our people, which is our scientists and our lab staff. So we have no effect by tariffs. And the entire industry, pharmaceutical industry, is getting lumped together, and we don't belong in that group.
Yeah, maybe remind everyone a little bit about what the company does, because I think that's important to talk about as well.
Yes, we are developing antiviral therapeutics. A very broad spectrum lead drug is NV387. And basically, we are not a vaccine development company. We are a therapeutic development company. Why? Because viruses mutate away from vaccines. And what our CEO and chief scientist discovered is that regardless of how they mutate, they land on the same receptor site. So we copy the receptor site, which is invariant to mutation. So our lead drug, NV387, is based on heparin sulfate, which is the configuration used by more than 90% of pathogenic viruses. And that's why it's broad spectrum. So it works against the flu, it works against RSV, it works against COVID, it works against even smallpox. And so we're very excited about it because it's a drug that when you go to the doctor, right, and right now when they say you have a viral infection, there's nothing they can give you to treat it, whereas our drug would be such that regardless of which virus you have, you would get the same drug. And so that's why we feel we are a very unique company and our drug is very unique.
And is that the way HHS is really sort of pushing now with this new administration that's in? They're pushing towards the alternative to vaccines as well.
That's correct. That's the second big thing that's causing turmoil in the marketplace, which is that all these changes in the government staff in Washington D.C. What's the impact on the company? Well, the prior administration was on a completely vaccine-focused strategy to prevent pandemics and to treat viruses. We are very lucky that the current HHS administration is wanting an integrated approach. They understand that viruses mutate away from vaccines and that therapeutics are a critical part of pandemic preparedness. So we are very excited that there's a balanced approach in Washington, and regardless of all the upheaval that you're seeing, it really leads to a balanced view of our drugs and our applications for preventing pandemics in things like measles, bird flu, RSV, COVID, and of course smallpox, which is again, it's a defense. Smallpox has been eradicated in the U.S., but again, it's a bioterrorism potential threat, so there has to be preparedness for it. So we are very excited about the changes in Washington.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, there was a recent story out, and I've talked to your CEO about this as well. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is going to invest about $100 million to combat the avian influenza, or what is known. And so I'm just interested in knowing a little bit about, is that something the company would be pursuing as well to try and use your drug for that as well?
We love that news because H5N1 is something that our drug can address. And so while I don't want to really talk about what we're going to do related to it, we definitely are interested in this change. We are very excited that USDA has taken over the responsibility for fighting bird flu in poultry. And of course, that affects the average American, right, who's paying too much for eggs because of the reduced supply due to the culling of poultry. And so we are very excited about this news that there's a total focus with money associated with therapeutics and, of course, vaccines against bird flu. And that, again, is in preparedness for helping the American public get reduced culling, more supply of eggs, and reduced pricing. So we think it's great news, again, for the company.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a very busy rest of 2025. There's a lot happening within the company.
Yes, that's right. And as I said, we are positioned to deliver our proof of concept, which is phase 2. We're doing the phase 2 trials on our lead drug, NV387. This time it is against smallpox because it proves the concept, and it's a very targeted trial. And of course, we are very optimistic about the results because phase 1 was phenomenal, no adverse effects, and so very exciting.
Yeah. Meeta, thank you so much. Great update from the company and really appreciate your time.
It's our pleasure. We really think investors should be looking at the future, not the past, and not get worried about the current turmoil when they look at NNVC, because NNVC is just a dynamic technology. It's a groundbreaking technology that is developed by this company to fight 90% of viral infections. And that's a remarkable achievement.
Absolutely. Meeta Vihas, he is the Chief Financial Officer for Nanovaricides.